Hey, hey everyone. Let's see what we got here. One summer when I was 10 years old, I went to work with my father. My father's in the seafood business, so that particular day we were going to a wharf up on the coast of Maine. It was cold. It was about 5 in the morning. The sun had yet to come up. The wharf stunk of dry bait, and my father says, "This is what you're going to do today. You're going to go spend the entire day on this big boat over here pulling crabs out." I looked at him and I kind of, why do I have to do this? What is this all about? But didn't really say that. Just kind of, that was the look in my eye. Jumped on that boat. There was 5 or 6 guys in that boat, and again, their reaction was like, why is the boss's kid jumping on this boat? Like, the kid's 10 years old. He's not going to help us get these crabs out of this boat. So they didn't say anything. And naturally, it was cold. I was 10 years old. I was pretty uncomfortable. But I just sucked it up. I sucked it up, went down to the hole of this boat, and basket by basket, we loaded crabs into this boat, into the baskets. The hauler would pull it up. They'd weigh it. Again, started probably around 5:30 in the morning. We didn't end until 6 at night. At the end of that night, every one of the guys on the boat gave me a high five. They said I did a great job. I proved to them that I deserved to be on that boat, that I could help them pull those crabs out. They told my father to, I got off the boat. My dad gave me a $100 bill, and he said, "Those guys were really impressed with you, so they gave you a tip to help for all the work that you did." That was probably the most money I had since probably until I was about 14 or 15 years old, so that was pretty cool. But another part that was really neat about this story is the name of the boat was the Hannah Bowden. If any of you have ever seen The Perfect Storm with George Clooney, he was on the Andrea Gale, which was the sister boat of the Hannah Bowden. And his entire crew was working the boat that day. So I got to meet that entire cast, and I got to prove to myself that, and those guys, that I was as tough as they were, or that I could at least stack up to them. So it was something that I ended up writing my college essay on. It was something that was very influential to me. Next slide, please. Luke's Lobster is a restaurant concept. We've got 5 restaurants, 1 truck. The first opened in 2009 in the East Village. The second, Upper East Side, right around the corner from us at 81st and 2nd, is the second picture. The third opened up December 2010 on the Upper West Side. The fourth, Washington, D.C. in May of this year. The fifth was the Nauti Mobile, which short we call it Nauti. Nauti patrols the city and spends a lot of time in Midtown and down in Union Square. And then the latest open was also this year in June, and it's in the financial district. Next slide, please. The mission statement of our company is to bring the most affordable, high-quality, sustainable seafood from the ocean floor to our customers' plate. We can do this by pairing with my father's seafood company up in Maine. I'll call up my dad, uncle, tell them what we need for lobster, crab, or shrimp. They'll work with the fishermen, bring it into their plant, process it, and send it directly to the restaurants. So we cut out all the middlemen, which does 2 important things. And make sure that it's not sitting on some shelf in some warehouse for an extra couple of days, and then it also keeps the price more affordable so we can pass that value on to the customers. Okay, so why do I have a mustache right now? I don't know if any of you heard of Movember. I don't typically walk around with a handlebar mustache. It's just something that I feel fortunate enough to do in November. We've got like about 100 folks on our squad, and call 50% of them male. Almost 90% of us are all growing mustaches to create awareness for Movember. The cause is, the cause is to bring awareness to prostate cancer. But I did this last year as well, and I've really developed a lot in the last year because this mustache was really right at the end of November, and it was hardly full. I got a chance to go on Bloomberg TV to talk about Luke's Lobster, and I got off a show, and I probably had like 50 text messages from friends just blowing me up for having a mustache on TV. I just couldn't understand why I would ever do that. Next slide, please. So why Luke's Lobster for me? As I said, I'm from a small town on the coast of Maine. The fishing industry is very near and dear to me. If I had an option, I would retire and go back to lobstering tomorrow. It's one of the funnest jobs I've ever had. Basically, how it started for me is I was 14 years old, started working with Ed Perry here. He is a big 40-foot boat. We would go out real early in the morning, spend all day fishing. He spent 2 years teaching me the ropes on how to do it effectively, how to be safe. And then I went out and built my own boat in high school and started fishing by myself and with my youngest brother. So it's beautiful. On days like this, when it's really sunny and the water's flat and you get to go out and pull your traps up and see what's inside, that feeling is something that just hopefully I'll be fortunate enough to retire someday again and do it only on the sunny days. So I did that until after my freshman year of high school, and my parents looked at me and, after my freshman year of college, and my parents looked at me and said, there's no way that we're going to be paying for your tuition to go to Georgetown if you're just going to continue to Lobster. So they made me go out and get internships, and I started working for UBS. Always had kind of a passion for the financial markets. So I spent 2 summers doing internships for UBS, graduated from Georgetown in 2007 with a double major in finance and management. Quick side note, now I get the opportunity to interview prospective students. And this last cycle, I got a chance to meet a wonderful girl from Hewitt and wrote her a really nice recommendation. She was actually a transfer student she came in I believe she came in halfway through high school from California. And she was really, really anxious about the transition. And she said that you guys were all just extremely accepting, and she found her family within a short period of time. So that's certainly something you should feel very good about. But after graduating, I went into investment banking, and I did that for 2.5 years. And there was one day that I was just looking for a lobster roll in the city, and just jumped on the internet and couldn't find anything that was affordable or seemed to be of high quality. So put together a business plan to open up a small shack in the East Village. It was going to be a side project. Found a partner on Craigslist to run the day-to-day. Yeah. It was the posting was something like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have this idea. I need someone that's really smart, really hardworking, and is basically going to pick up any task at hand. And I found my partner Ben. No experience, was a writer for Playboy, but liked food. Was a Yale guy, and just ended up being a great partnership. So really, next slide, please. My breakthrough came 2.5 years, or really 3 years into investment banking when we signed the lease for the Upper East Side. When I said, "That's it, I'm done. I'm going to quit. I'm going to take my really, really cushy salary and big bonus, and go take a salary that I can't really pay my rent on." So is that risk, that transition, to say, hey, I want to go do something that I believe in. I want to do something that makes me happy and makes me want to get out of bed every day. So piggy bank is to say that I had to kind of live off my savings for a little while until we could kind of prove that it worked. But taking that leap of faith was a big transition for me. Next slide, please. One of the reasons that we've been very successful is that we've really embraced social media. We're very active on Foursquare, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook. Yeah, the other one, the small one. You can see some of the titles of the publications that we've hit. Probably one of my favorite was the Today Show. I got to go on Today Show with Kathy Lee and Hoda. And it happened to be the segment for a Friday when they all go out to the Hamptons. So they wanted to pregame their trip to the Hamptons. So this segment happened like 9 in the morning. They had a sangria taping right before. So they were just, by the time I met with them, they were like already pinching my cheeks and ready for round 2. It went really well, and it was a lot of fun. But certainly using these social media tools to reach out to our customers and build that community of people that want to interact with us, and then we can interact back with them, has been a very, very powerful tool for us. Next slide, please. So in closing, just thank you from me to you. That's our company slogan. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys today.